If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. It's the 2D Film Club. I'm Nate Stevenson, and
Hell yeah, and I'm Cody.
yeah, it's been a while since we've last done an episode. So, we took a little break. We had some vacations and stuff that popped up, but we're glad to be back and talk about the movies that we've watched because, it's been a little while, so we've watched quite a bit of movies. New ones that have come out like on Netflix or HBO, and then especially the movies in our film club. So
Yeah, we definitely have a lot to kind of talk about for sure. A lot of things on streaming and with movie theaters opening up and a
yes.
lot's going on. So it's kind of exciting.
Do you have any plans to go to any movies in the theater or?
Yeah, I just for Tenet August 31st in IMAX.
Ooh,
So
early access.
early access. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's interesting getting the tickets because as you at least for AMs or for the AMC theaters, it doesn't show any blocked out seats at first, but as you pick them, I think what it
Yeah.
does is it X's out like the seats all around you, so then you see like you can see where people are sitting, and then you see like X'd out seats everywhere, and so it's kind of interesting. Like I was trying to, my brother actually texted me and my sisters and was like, "Hey, Tenet, August 31st, five o'clock IMAX," and he told us the seats. And I was trying to get seats, in the same row, and then other people were buying their tickets, of course, at the same time. So then the seats that I was trying to get weren't available. And then like most of the row was already gone, and obviously like half the row is empty seats because they're all X'd out. So I was like, you know what, whatever. I'm just gonna get like the row in front. It doesn't matter. So I just
Yeah.
got a different row. I was like, I'm just trying to go.
Yeah, exactly. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
How many seats do they X out on the when you're?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna open it up while we're talking though, see if I can look at it again.
Because I know Cinemark they X out 2 seats to the left and 2 seats to the right. So
Hmm.
just to kind of give you that buffer, which for me personally, like I like because I hate when people sit next to me. So now I have like an even bigger buffer. So
Yeah.
it does suck though that it's going to limit the amount of people that can go see a movie. But you know,
Yeah.
I like to have my space sometimes, especially with these kind of movies. It's nice to have someone not right next to you because that can be annoying, especially like if they're munching on popcorn really loud or laughing or talking super loud or something like that. But
Yeah, yeah, that's true. It'll definitely be nice not having to have someone right next to you. Just when tickets go on sale, I just feel like you have to get them
uh-huh.
more in advance because obviously like the it's gonna sell out much faster with the limited capacity.
No, that's so true.
But yeah, I think it's good. I mean, yeah, it looks like people are spaced out enough that it should be good.
It looks like they just do one. I don't know. It's kind of interesting because you have that like third row up where it's one person in the middle, but they have like 3, 4 seats next to them that are X'd out. So can people like customize it or I think people can because if you
Um,
look at the very back right one, you have 2 seats and then it looks like three people in front, one person to the left of them, and three people behind them.
Yeah, so when you get for that, if when you get yours, it X's out like all the ones around you. So the person in front of you, there can't be someone in front of you, left of you, or right of you. So they automatically X
Jeez.
out like one around you. So if you, yeah, like the front, you see like there's those two people, like two separate people that are obviously coming alone, and they just have like X's all
Yeah.
around.
Well,
So
yeah, if you look at that, I mean, you have like just three people that are by themselves, and there's like probably like over 10 seats, maybe 15 seats where it's all X, which is kind of funny.
yeah, it's
I
pretty
mean, I got
crazy.
my
So it'll be
tickets for
interesting to see.
train to Busan, so I mean, not not train to Busan, right? I got my ticket to,
to to Train to
to Tenet
Busan
as well.
presents Peninsula,
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
which is
I
what they're
wish.
calling it. And I wanna go see that, but they're not playing it anywhere like close to me. So,
I think my
but
favorite review I saw about that, someone said it's like a zombie movie with like Fast and Furious mixed
yes,
together.
yeah, I saw people saying it's like Tokyo Drift meets
Oh
World
yeah, yeah,
World
yeah,
War Z,
yeah.
like,
And I'm
and
like, huh.
everyone's comparing it to like Fast and Furious. So okay, so it definitely sounds like it sounds like it's different than Train to Busan, which is good. But I know it seems like a lot of people. It seems like most people are saying, it's not as good, obviously, because Train to Busan. We're gonna get into that in a little bit, but
Yeah,
it's a pretty great zombie movie, and so
it's just
uh,
refreshing to know that movie theaters are back opening and everything.
yeah,
So,
yeah, it's crazy. Well,
I mean, I
you
had the chance to,
went, yeah.
yeah, I went to Jurassic Park
How was
last
that,
week.
man?
It was in the XD at Cinemark, so seeing Jurassic Park, always has just been like on the TV or something like that. And so having that opportunity to go back in the theater where it's an XD screen, so it's wall to wall, and then the surround sound where like, T-Rex is just stomping, it's shaking your chair. It was such an interesting experience, and so it just made me look at all these other classic movies that are coming out that they're showing. And it's like, man, I wouldn't like mind spending like $5 and going and seeing it like in a theater
Oh yeah, for sure.
for
Like
that.
I'm super tempted to go see Empire Strikes Back and a
Yeah.
couple of other, like they have Jaws and Indiana Jones and like
Hmm.
some other cool movies. It'd be fun to see in theaters.
I know Regal is showing Lord of the Rings, and that would just be such a neat experience
That's
to see
crazy.
in theaters.
That'd be cool. I remember when I was a kid, my parents never took me to see the Lord of the Rings movies, and I was so mad. And
Yeah, I only saw it on TV.
yeah, I think I got to see The Return of the King in theaters, but I can't remember. I feel like the only reason why I got to go is because I went with my cousins though. Um, so, but yeah, it'd be cool to see that in theaters. There's a lot of movies like that that I would love to see in theaters.
But it's just nice being able to go on the app now and seeing all these movies that were so delayed finally
Uh,
kind of popping back up.
yeah.
Like Bloodshot and
New Mutants finally getting a release, which is so weird to even say that that movie's coming out, and especially at a weird time like this.
watch somehow they like push it back and they delete it again.
Probably.
That'd be so funny, but sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those like I'm like tempted like wanting to see, but I'm like mostly excited for Tenet. So I have my
Hmm.
ticket same day, August 31st for like 7 o'clock. So
Nice.
I'm looking forward to it.
Sweet. Yeah, I can't wait.
Not IMAX though, not IMAX, but
That's okay. You can go see it
I'll
again.
when I see the second time, I'll have to go see an IMAX or XD or something like that.
There you go.
So
Yeah, man. It's gonna be fun.
yeah, like I said, it's just refreshing knowing that theaters are back. It's such a fun experience, you
Hmm.
know. It's different though, walking in, everybody's wearing masks and they have everything taped up,
Yeah.
like telling you they have 6 feet apart, and they have like little wipes that you can take to wipe off your chair, like just to be like safe and everything. And
That's good. That's cool.
so you have, I mean, for us, I don't know what it is for AMC, but Cinemark, like you have to like wear your masks, like unless you're like you're eating popcorn and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I think it's the same. I think. I'm
So
not sure, but
crazy times,
mm-hmm.
crazy. Well, we also watched some of these new movies that came out, like on Netflix and HBO Max. We watched American Pickle and Project Power.
Yeah. So, well, out of those two, which one did you like more? Let's start with that.
I liked American Pickle more
Yeah.
just because I like Seth Rogen,
Yeah.
and it just seemed like a different plot in a sense. So
hmm Yeah, I liked it too. I thought it was fun. It was wholesome and sweet and funny. And I love Seth Rogen. I think anyone who likes Seth Rogen will like this movie. But if
you own how many pair of socks? 15 pair of socks? I think I'm not gonna like spoil it too much but I think my favorite part of that movie was how all he wanted to do was drink seltzer
yeah,
water.
yeah, that was really funny. And he was so impressed when he had he had
You have seltzer water? And then it's just one of those like soda stream things.
yeah, that was really funny.
I think when I was watching, I got up and I went and got a LaCroix. A
Nice.
LaCroix. I was like, I gotta drink a seltzer water just with him as well.
Yeah. I
Get the bubbles on.
I feel like that fish out of water kind of comedy, it feel like it always works on me. Like it's always just fun to watch. It's and I think that they did a good job with
Yeah.
this movie, and it didn't take itself too seriously, but it was funny. It wasn't like the funniest Seth Rogen movie either, but it's just one of those movies that it was nice. It was just a
Yeah.
nice movie. Like I felt good afterwards. And I was like, hey, this is a movie like I'd watch with my family. I
hmm
watched it with my wife and my brother-in-law, and they both liked it a lot, and it's a fun one. So
Yeah, I watched it with my wife and she really enjoyed it too.
yeah,
She was laughing quite a bit.
yeah.
But it still had like some of those like serious or
hmm
emotional moments and everything. So yeah, it was really, really good.
Yeah, it was a pleasant surprise.
I think I gave it like 3 stars,
Yeah,
but I
me too.
still
Me too. 3 stars. Good movie. I'd recommend it if you have HBO Max. If you want to watch something, you know, something that's just nice. Something that's just nice to watch. And if you like Seth Rogen, then check it out for sure.
and the person that directed it, he's done like MacGruber, Halloween 2, like High Voltage. He did Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance. That's My Boy. So he's done some of those. Oh no, he was the cinematographer.
hmm Oh yeah, he was the cinematographer for Crank, High Voltage. Nice.
Yeah, I just liked how they filmed it, like just how they were able to have essentially two Seth Rogens and everything. One with
hmm
a one with not a beard, so
Yeah, yeah. It was funny. I think it worked. It worked pretty well.
he was also the cinematographer for Disaster Artist.
Nice. Uh,
But we also watched Project Power.
yes, we did. What'd you think of Project Power?
Uh it it had like I don't know. It's like one of those things again, like with Netflix, where sometimes I feel like they go over top on like the people that they hire for like cinematography. I mean, I loved the shots that they had for the movie, but sometimes it was like watching someone that was like really trying to do it, like
Like you're
trying too hard.
trying. Yeah. Okay. I could see that. I see where you're coming from.
Some of like the scenes how they were trying to film and everything. It was like too because I don't know. It made it seem like they were trying to make this action movie like super serious, even though like it should have that. But like I didn't get that, feelings from it. That was supposed to be like this super serious action movie.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, it's kind of a weird one. I liked it. I'm a big X-Men fan, and this reminded me a lot of like an X-Men movie.
yeah,
And so I really liked that about it, and I thought some of the action was cool, and I was surprised. I was actually surprised by some of the. I think the effects in the movie were actually really good
yeah,
for
especially when like MGK was the fire
yeah, when he's
guy or
on
whatever.
fire and stuff. Yeah, I thought that looked great. Like, and I don't think this movie had a huge budget. I mean, I know it was a pretty. I think it was like 80 million or something. So I mean, it was
Yeah,
it was pretty big, um, but yeah, I mean, I thought the effects were cool and the action was kind of cool. I like Jamie Foxx. Um, it was it was nice to see Joseph Gordon-Levitt in something
I
again,
know, I
but
know.
I just would like to see him in something else other than this. Like this was just such
Yeah,
a in many ways it feels like just one of those kind of throwaway Netflix movies, but there's some elements in here that surprised me. The cinematography actually surprised me because I was expecting just like basic, just basic Netflix, you know, cinematography and just kind of like okay action and stuff. And so I get what you're saying with the cinematography, and I think I kind of feel the same way, but it didn't bother me because I was just expecting the cinematography to be like
yeah,
kind of bland and just
yeah.
kind of whatever. So I was kind of interested. I was like, oh, okay, they're doing something interesting here with some of these shots that I thought was kind of cool, but but the movie never really did anything to uh really kind of pull me in. Like I was interested. Actually, you know what? When the movie started, I was like, "Oh boy!" I was kind of like, "I don't know if I want to watch this." But then after
Yeah,
like the first 20 minutes, I was like, "Okay, this is kind of cool." I was like, "I'm gonna see
yeah.
where
It was
this
the same way.
I'm gonna see where this goes." Um, so yeah, it's not bad.
So do you like the old guard or Project Power? Which
You
one?
know, I actually think I like Project Power more.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
and
what did you rate it?
Project Power, I'd give 2.5 stars.
Yeah, I gave it 3 stars, but it's a pretty low three
Yeah.
star.
Yeah, I think I would, if you like those kind of movies, um, I think it could be worth watching.
Like
But
6 Underground or something like that. Like if you liked.
yeah, or if you like X-Men stuff, maybe I think this might have been maybe a better X-Men movie than the last one, Dark Phoenix. So, um,
I mean, it is an interesting plot. They take a pill and then they get like superhero powers and
mhm,
stuff. But I guess like the one thing that kind of made me laugh a little bit was just how the powers they get are from like how certain animals like in the animal kingdom can like
mhm.
do certain. And so then like I was telling you, it kind of made me feel like I was watching the Amazing Spider-Man, where you had that one doctor that didn't have his arms, so he wanted to genetically modify so like a lizard's
Oh
arm,
yeah.
so he could grow his arm back. So it just made me think of that in a sense where these people, the powers they're getting are just from animals that have like these abilities that humans can't do.
Mhm.
So that's where it kind of lost me a little bit when they started talking about that. I'm like, oh, okay, so Amazing Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I kind of didn't really care about that stuff. Yeah, there's a lot in here that I didn't really care about, but then there's things that I was like, oh, that's cool. Like I actually did enjoy like some of the powers, like, and kind of I was actually interested to see like, okay, what is this guy's power gonna be or whatever.
Yeah,
And a lot of them, I feel like sometimes like even in the X-Men movies, because there's so many people with different like random powers, and some of them are kind of dumb. And even in even in some of the X-Men movies, like there's some of these kids, some of these kids in these movies that have like these dumb powers that just kind of like, okay, like it's kind of lame. And some of the powers in here, I feel like they could easily seem kind of dumb, but I think that the way that they did it for me it worked where I thought it was kind of
Yeah.
cool.
No, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
the one guy that was running around and he had like he wasn't invisible, but he was kind of like a chameleon, you know?
Yeah.
Like that was cool. And
Hmm.
um I like the bit where Joseph Gordon-Levitt, like he chased after that guy, and he took a pill. Um
And then he gets
and gets
shot right in the
shot.
head.
Yeah. So um so yeah, I thought, that was cool. There's some cool stuff. I mean, the story overall was just kind of whatever. Um
How long was it again?
I think it was 2 hours.
104, yeah, 114 minutes.
Yeah.
But it has Jamie Foxx in it too, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and
Yeah,
yeah,
Jamie Foxx is good. And then I like the girl in it. Thought she was pretty good. I thought some of her freestyles and stuff was kind of fun.
yeah, it was her little
Um,
rapping.
mhm.
It was nice to. It was funny because I mean I don't know if you know Casey Neistat, that
Oh
YouTuber.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He was in it. How could we forget about that? That was
Well,
funny.
and his brother was in it too.
Oh
His
really?
brother
I
was
didn't notice that.
he was like that like agent or whatever, um that like showed up like at the mom's house, like asking where the girl was.
Oh okay.
Yeah, because they look very similar. Because
Mhm.
when I saw him, I'm like, wait, because I knew Casey was gonna be in this movie,
Mhm.
but I was like, wait, that's his brother. And then when Casey shows up, it's just pretty funny. I watched this YouTube video about him like talking about it because he got a black eye from like one of the
Oh
scenes
yeah,
in
I
it.
saw that. That's funny.
Yeah,
Good times.
but yeah, it's kind of funny seeing these people in some of these movies. But yeah, I gave this 3 stars, but a pretty low one.
Yeah,
Just
that's fair.
because it was interesting enough that and it held me to watch it, but it did have some of its low moments, but it had some of its interesting one. So
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, not bad. Not bad, but just not that great either. But some cool stuff.
a better Netflix one
Yeah,
from
yeah,
other that have come
definitely.
out
I
with
mean,
them.
compared to many other movies that have come out on Netflix, it's better than than definitely a lot of those. Um, so yeah, if you're interested in it, it might be worth checking out. Um, but you also wouldn't be missing out on too much either if you decided to skip on it.
I'm trying to
Was there?
think one of these other Netflix movies are coming out. I
I just
know
know we got two coming in September that I'm actually excited for. Both of them, they both look good. I'm thinking of Ending Things, and what's that other one called again?
The Devil All the
Yeah, The
Time.
Devil All the Time.
That one has Tom Holland and Bill Skarsgård, Jason Clarke. Yeah, I'm just looking at some of these movies coming out. They'll be good. So,
Yeah.
but what were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say, was there anything else? Was there any other new things that we watched, or any other movies that you watched this week?
I mean, when I saw Jurassic Park, I did watch
Oh yeah, yeah.
Lost World, and I did watch Jurassic Park 3, and it's kind of funny because I saw Jurassic Park, I gave it 4.5 stars,
Hmm.
and then I watched Lost World, I gave it 3 stars, and then I watched Jurassic Park 3, and I gave it 2.5 stars. So
Yeah.
as those other ones came out, the less interesting they were. I mean, Lost World and Jurassic Park, like 3, definitely have like its moments where it's good,
Hmm.
but it's just not like the original one where it's like, oh
Yeah.
man, like you're on your seat the whole time and what's gonna
Yeah.
happen. So
It's not. Yeah, they're not even close. But I do like the Lost World.
yeah.
But then 3 is where it's just like, okay, this is just kind of mostly bad.
Yeah.
um, yeah, from what I remember, I mean, I like the Lost World. It was, it was good, but not like it just wasn't anywhere near as good as the first one, obviously.
Well, it's also interesting seeing some of these actor or actresses that are in these movies, because it's like, man, I totally forgot that they were like in Lost World.
Oh yeah, it's so funny when that happens. So I just watched Spider-Man 2. I watched Spider-Man 2 this week, and um, I I feel like I found out in the last couple years that Joey that Joey Diaz is in that movie,
Oh,
but I haven't seen it in so long, and so watching it now is the first time I've seen. I think this is the first time I've watched Spider-Man 2, knowing who Joey Diaz even is. And it's just really funny seeing him on that train. He's on, it's just like a cameo, but I was like, oh, that's Joey Diaz. So I thought that was really funny. It was like my favorite part of watching this time. But watching Spider-Man 2 again was fun because it's been so long since I've seen it.
it's one of those classics.
It's a classic. It holds up.
So quick question.
What?
Out of all the Spider-Man, which series is your favorite?
Which series? So the Sam Raimi Amazing Spider-Man and the Tom Holland Spider-Mans.
Yeah, so like going back
If
all the
I
way.
if I'm picking a series, I'd say the Sam Raimi trilogy for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Maybe one day we'll have to watch all the Spider-Man movies
Yes.
and
I remember seeing Spider-Man 3 in theaters like it was like my first time ever going to like a midnight showing,
oh snap.
and the theater was packed, and I just
Oh yeah.
remember watching the movie and I started laughing so hard when what's his face started crying because it's just so bad. Uh, but it was fun. It was a fun experience.
Heck
So
yeah.
I would have to agree with that trilogy. It's just, especially
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2, I think that one is probably my favorite one.
Yeah, I think same. Spider-Man 2 is really great.
I think the plot's good and I like the action scenes and everything.
Hmm.
But it's one of those things where I definitely need to rewatch them because it's been a little while.
Yeah, it's been fun rewatch. I'm excited to watch Spider-Man 3. Maybe I'll do that this weekend because I've been watching him with I have a younger brother-in-law and he's never seen him. So a few weeks ago we watched Spider-Man 1 and we just watched Spider-Man 2 and
So does he like them, or
yeah,
does he
he
still like the newer ones more?
I'll have to ask him. I don't know. He likes these, but I don't know. I'll have to ask him what he prefers. We'll have to watch Spider-Man 3 and see what he thinks about them all.
That's true. Because
So,
Spider-Man 3 is kind of the interesting one.
yeah. I still think in my opinion, I still think Spider-Man 3 is better than The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I will agree with that.
Even though, I mean, Spider-Man 3 is not great. I mean, I mean, it's definitely kind of bad. But uh I yeah, we're gonna have to watch all the Spider-Mans at some point. We'll do it. We'll do a podcast on just all Spider-Man movies.
Yes, we will. Spider-Man cast.
Yeah,
Spider
Spider-Cast.
cast. Yeah. Well, was there any other movies that you watched?
No, not real well. I watched Groundhog Day again, so that was fun. It's been a while since I've seen that,
Yeah, it's been a while for me too. I need to rewatch that.
and I loved it when I first saw it, and I think this is only my second time I've ever seen it, and I liked it even more this time, being older, seeing it. Um, and I love Bill Murray, and and yeah, it's great.
Do you think
It's
you enjoy the movie a lot more just because you've seen other movies that have a Groundhog Day like aspect to it, or just because of the movie itself that you just
just
appreciate?
because the movie itself, but I definitely by the end of it, I was thinking about, I was explaining to to Jeremiah that and I was asking him if he's seen any of these movies where, have you ever seen these movies where people keep reliving the same day over and over again? He's like, I don't think so. I'm like, okay, well, anyways, there's a bunch of them, and
Yeah.
this movie was like the first one to really do it that made it popular, and watching it again, it's still the best one. I don't think that there's a better movie that's done it. Um, and I think a part of why I like it so much is uh Bill Murray in this movie, he relives that day. I don't know how many times, but it's a lot. Like he's lived through that day way more. I feel like way more times than a movie like Happy Death Day. I feel like she relives the same day like 7 times or something like that. Like it's like a week. If at least it feels like it's way less. Like
Yeah.
maybe a month or something. I don't know. Same with like Source Code, which I like that movie a lot. But um uh but in this one, you really, by the end of it, you really feel like, okay, he knows everything about this town. He knows everything about everyone, and it's fun seeing how his character has changed, and how he went from being such a total dick in the beginning of the movie, and he's become just so much nicer, and just yeah, it's fun. I definitely recommend going back and watching it again.
Yeah. Where
It's
did
on
you watch?
Netflix right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to
Yeah,
rewatch it.
it's a classic.
Go to the OG ones.
OG. Yeah. So that was fun. But yeah, other than that, that's about it.
Yeah, I
Um.
watch Booksmart, so
Oh yeah, that's right. Did you like Booksmart?
yeah, I gave it 3.5 stars. Like it had like its funny moments and stuff, but it kind of just seemed like one of those typical. I don't even know how to describe it. Just I don't know. It just was average in my opinion. It was
Mm,
okay.
nice.
So, but what's funny is my friend is actually she went to school with um with Beanie Feidstein.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Huh.
and she yeah, they don't have that much of a good friendship. Let's just say that.
Oh, okay. That's
So
interesting.
it's kind of funny hearing the little details about Beanie a little bit.
So she hates. So your friend hates Booksmart.
Yeah, like
worst,
definitely.
worst movie of 2019.
She probably hasn't like reviewed it, but if she did, she probably like would just yeah.
That's that's really funny.
Yeah.
Um. Hmm, interesting. Well, I personally really like like Beanie Feldstein. I think that she was really good in the movie, and I'm excited to see her in more stuff.
Hmm.
Um,
No,
I
I think she's funny.
mhm. Yeah, I like the movie. I'm with you though. I feel like that movie was last year. It was so hyped up, and everyone was like, "Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, this is the best movie ever." And I think that it was really good. Um, and and it was a really good um I don't know if it was if it was Olivia Wilde's first movie that she directed, but at least the first one that I know about at least. But Olivia Wilde directed that, and I thought that she did a great job. And apparently she made some deal with Sony, and it sounds like she's going to be directing a Mrs. Miss Spider-Man movie or something like that for Sony. Spider Woman.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting.
Hmm.
I I think she'll do a good job. Well, I mean, but it's just one of those movies that I think like I'll have to see and really, you know, obviously judge for myself. But I'm not gonna
Hmm.
like say it's gonna be like an average Spider Woman movie. But I do have high
Yeah.
expectations. So,
I don't know if I have high expectations, but I'm sure it'll be okay.
well, just like it's a different Spider Man movie.
Yeah.
Like that's why like
Yeah.
I just like have like this I guess high expectation to see like how they're gonna
Hmm.
do it in a sense. So
But will it be better than Venom though?
mm,
Venom. Venom. Venom.
will it
Uh,
be better than Ghost Rider?
no, I don't think it's possible.
It's
Um,
never possible.
I'm actually excited for Venom 2. And I know Venom 1 wasn't a great movie. It's not even really a good movie, but I kind of really liked Venom.
Hmm.
And I,
Yeah,
and I'm excited for more like Sony Spider-Man movies, like make more Venom movies, make more weird stuff. And I'm really excited for a new um Into the Spider-Verse movie. That's what I'm most
yes.
excited for.
I need to rewatch that one.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
It's on Netflix too, so
Sweet. Well, should we talk about our film club picks for this week?
yes. It was Train to Busan and Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Yeah. So, all right. So we watched Train to Busan. You haven't seen Train to Busan before, right?
No, nope. I've heard about it. I know you've talked about it and
Mm-hmm.
everything, and I've seen like some things about it, but I haven't seen it.
So this is the second time I've watched it, and I'm glad that we watched it again, because I feel like I got more out of it this time, and I think maybe the first time I was distracted or something because I liked it, but I didn't. I don't know.
But when you say you got more out of it, like what?
Well, I think it was just I literally think that maybe I was distracted, like because I remember I watched it when it came out, and um, even watching it again now, there was so much that I didn't remember. I'm like, I must have been really distracted when I was watching it the first time. So I think it just
Okay.
didn't connect with me because of that. But anyway, so it's a Korean movie about a zombie virus outbreak in South Korea, and a lot of the movie takes place on a train that's going to Busan. Um, it's about a dad who's a like typical like workaholic,
Yeah.
um, very self-absorbed kind of guy who's divorced from his wife, and he has a young daughter, and he is going to Busan, and his daughter went with him, um, and pretty much while they're going, this zombie outbreak sort of happens, and so they're stuck on a train for not the whole movie. It's but for a lot of the movie. I mean, for most of the movie, they are on this train, and it is one of
But it doesn't feel like they're on a train though. I feel like I mean
the. Does it feel like
I
they're
mean
on
it
a
does.
plane? What?
No, sorry.
What do you?
I mean you don't get like just the way that they filmed it. Like it feels very open and everything like that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, they did.
but it does definitely have like its tight moments where they're like in like a bathroom or something like that, and you're like,
Hmm.
ugh. But like how they filmed it, if yeah,
Yeah.
you kind of slowly forget a little bit. At least for me, I wasn't focusing more on the train part. I was focusing on the how are they going to survive and
Hmm.
stuff. I guess that's what I'm talking about. Like I just
Gotcha.
forgot a lot of times. Oh yeah, they're stuck on a train. Like holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a fan of these types of movies,
Hmm.
like all the Liam Neeson ones where he's the one where he's on a plane the whole movie, or the one where the train one.
Yeah.
Um, I like those movies, and I like when they're able to use one space, um, like that effectively, and be able to do different things and keep it interesting, even though that they're on a train, and it feels like, and it reminded me so much of what's it called, Snowpiercer,
Oh yeah.
because each of it feels like there's different parts of this train, and different things happen, um and and it makes it hard when you're in a pretty small space like that, and you have zombies running after you. um so I thought that that was cool, and I really enjoyed um, I really enjoyed that. I thought it was pretty suspenseful, and I thought the zombies looked great. the way that they
Yeah.
moved and all that.
They did a good job on that.
hmm Um, yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, it's kind of I don't think that it's like it doesn't really do anything too like new or anything for the zombie genre, but what it does is it's just a really good it's a really good zombie movie. Like in a time where I feel like there's not there's so many bad zombie movies or ones that are just okay or whatever. And this one I feel like was just it was a really strong zombie movie, and I really appreciate it because I love zombie movies, but there's just so many of them, and there's a lot of bad ones, and I thought this one was really good. It worked really well, and I liked the characters and the character development, like with the dad, um, and I really enjoyed the friends that they met. The other
Yeah,
couple, I love that dude.
that was so
Yeah,
funny.
I really like that a lot. Um,
Especially like when he closes a door on him, and then like as soon as he comes in, he's like, "Hey,
yeah,
are you gonna apologize? Like,
yep.
you close the door on me and my pregnant wife."
hmm
But yeah, it did have like some different aspects to it. Like I really enjoyed like how quick the people changed into zombies. And
hmm
so it was like that, oh shit, like you gotta go like right away kind of thing, like because these guys are turning to zombies real quick, and it was just such a quick that whole train. As soon as one person got infected, then like the whole train basically was.
Yeah, yeah, it got pretty crazy real quick.
And I liked how they focused on the zombies, but then like the plot like also focused on the dad and daughter relationship, and then him kind of like growing and understanding the importance of being a father, and seeing like him gaining friends and like this other couple that you were talking about. I just enjoyed that. Like, yes, they did focus on the zombies, and obviously the zombies were the highlight of it, but it wasn't like solely just that. Like, it had some other
hmm
that were being developed. So
Yeah,
it was enjoyable. It was depressing. The end, man.
yeah, yeah.
It was
It
sad.
was
That was
sad.
sad. It was sad. So,
Yeah,
but
that was sad. Yeah, I
but
think
it had to happen.
yeah, it had to happen, had to happen. But yeah, I think you're right though with with this movie. I don't think it would be as good as it is if the characters weren't as good as they are. Like I think that they're really strong and they're interesting and funny.
Hmm.
Um, So I and even some of the other characters like the the one guy I was laughing so hard at the end. The one guy, remember at the end like when the train like tips over and everyone's running around and that one guy he keeps shoving people and like throwing them into the zombies. He's like, "Oh, come help me." And he'll like throw them and like push them into zombies. And he's just like
Yeah, I know.
super selfish and such a total just complete asshole, but it made me laugh because he was just such a loser.
It's almost like like they were doing like a comparison thing where you have this wealthy guy, and then you have this young dad, and it's like this maybe could have been him later in life,
Mm-hmm.
like just like not caring about anybody.
Yeah.
And so it was like he changed to be the better person, whereas in this guy changed for the worse.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like that little comparison that they kind of did, where even through this whole catastrophe, he was able to change and was looking out for other people. But then this guy was like, no, like you said, pushing people into zombies,
Yeah.
trying to do
Yeah.
whatever it takes to survive. He's only about himself. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I think that that's one of the things about like survival type movies like this that interests me is just how the people in the situation react to what's happening around them and how they treat each other. And I think that this movie did a great job of showing like just kind of a whole spectrum of different people and how people are. Um, and like the end when they wouldn't let the other group that finally made it up to the front of the train, they wouldn't let them come in, and um oh man, and then they fight. Then what happened? They I can't remember. Oh yeah, the one old lady. Remember the old lady? She went and
Oh yeah,
opened the door.
yeah,
It's like,
dude.
oh snap! And then they all died.
She was the true villain of the.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, she was the true villain of that movie.
I don't know, but I feel like those people deserve that. I think she was the
No,
hero.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think she was the hero. Um, yeah.
No, but this kind of made me think of uh that movie called The Circle, like Circle. I don't know if you've heard about it.
Is that one that came out like a few years ago, or is
Yeah,
that?
it's like 2015, where it's like people like in a dark room and then like they have to like decide. It's like people wake up in a room and only to find one of them is killed every 2 minutes or when they
Oh
attempt to,
yeah,
and then they
I
realize
never
they
saw
can
that.
control which person is selected to die and that kind of stuff.
Mm,
So I just saw like a an ad for it or whatever, and it kind of made me think of, just how some people are willing to just like sacrifice other people and not just like that psychological aspect to it.
mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
what would you do in this situation? How long do you think you'd last?
I'd
Would you
probably,
die in the
I'd
beginning? Would you
probably,
die at the train station?
you know how like in these movies, like they always open up. It always opens up with like a zombie scene, like someone dying, and then it cuts to like the main characters, and they don't know what's going on. Like
Yeah.
I would be that first person dying. Like that's not even has anything to do with the movie. I'd just be dying in like the cold open of the movie, and then you'd cut to our main characters. I'd be dead right away for sure.
I feel like I would be the guy that opens up the bathroom coming out, and then someone just comes up and just bites me, and I'm like, what the hell just happened? I think that would be me.
Hmm.
So probably early in the movie. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was good. I mean, I did like how they had like that hobo guy or whatever.
Oh
It's like
yeah.
when they're opening up the bathroom and he's in it, you're like, oh, and then it's like, oh no, that's not the girl that's infected. So I like how they
Yeah.
did that little flip of the switch or whatever, kind of changed it on you.
And that scene where he remember when he dies and how like that train was like
Yeah.
tipped over and like the glass was cracking and these zombies are about to come through. That part was really intense. I was
Oh,
like,
it
holy
was
crap. These
so
zombies are
many
just
of
like right there and they're about to break through the glass and there's nowhere to really go. Like that was scary. I,
especially when they're chasing after the train, like at the end as well.
yes, I love how they were like dragging, like how there's just like so many zombies just all holding on and just being drug by that uh train. That was cool. There's a lot of cool scenes and a lot of fun, like thrilling set pieces and chases and things like that. I thought it was cool. I also like when they were moving through the train and when they realized that when they went through the tunnels that the zombies couldn't see.
Hmm.
And so like watching them like crawl above and try to sneak past them like when they would get through like the dark areas. But that was cool.
One, two, and then he steps like on the
Oh,
deep, whatever.
yeah.
You're like, oh no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yikes.
yeah, that part was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yes.
liked like that part too because I think it was like silent too, so it was like really quiet.
Mhm. And you get that loud
How they filmed
crunch.
it. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a good job on this. I enjoyed it. What did you rate it?
I'd give it a 4 out of 5 stars. I think that
Yeah, same.
a really good it's a really good zombie movie and it's just a really good movie overall. I think it's one of the best zombie movies of all time. Like I would put it right up there with like the original Dawn of the Dead and some of those other classic zombie movies. I think it's
Yeah, I agree.
it's really good. Um, so for me, yeah, I'd
I
give it a
gave it.
four.
I gave it. I gave it 4 stars as well, just because it has like a different aspect of it with them being on a train and you do see sometimes where like they're stuck like on these places, but it's more of like a side note and not like the whole movie.
Hmm.
So it was it was really interesting to see how they did it, and I really liked the zombies and just the whole scenes with them like attacking people, chasing after people, and all that was had you on your seat. So
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, it was good. It was good. Hopefully, I'll be able to see Peninsula sometime soon,
yeah, I know.
or
Same.
maybe when it goes on VOD, which I don't know when that's happening, but I do want to check out the sequel.
Well, was there anything else about Train to Busan or?
No, I think that's it. I think yeah, it's good. If you like zombie movies, definitely check it out.
Yeah.
And it is in Korean, but oh yeah, Nate, you were talking to me the other day. You're like, hey, was Train to Busan was that in Korean or was that in
Yeah.
English? Because you were like, I don't even know if I was reading subtitles or not. And I'm like, that's that's good. And I think with when movies are really good, I feel like once you're into it, like I don't even notice that I'm like reading subtitles anymore.
Yeah, it
And
made me think of Parasite, just like how
yeah,
like I got like within 10 minutes I was so used to the subtitles.
hmm,
And when like watching a movie like in Korean and stuff, I was like, I totally forgot that for
yeah,
like 2 hours I was basically reading subtitles.
yep. So don't be scared of the subtitles.
Yep. Don't be scared. You can do it. I mean, I think I'm just getting older, so I have to have subtitles on. I just want to be able to hear the dialogue a little bit better. Otherwise, I'm like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah, yeah. I keep subtitles on like all the time now.
What did he say? Can you turn it up?
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
but I pretty much have subtitles on all my movies now, regardless of the language. It's beneficial to have. So
Nice, nice, nice. Well, we watched another movie.
Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Yes.
And if you have seen The Lobster, correct?
Yes, yeah, lobster.
Then and The Favorite,
Hmm.
then you will enjoy this movie as well. Being from Yorgos Lanthimos,
Yeah.
a Greek filmmaker. I really do enjoy his movies. Um,
Nice. I'm
you
glad.
know,
I'm
I,
glad you
I
liked it.
I watched The Lobster, and I think I just had like this whole different, feeling of like what The Lobster was going to be about. But I really enjoyed how The Lobster didn't focus so much on like the aspect of them changing into animals or whatever.
Hmm.
And then like with this one was just so bizarre, like the first 40 minutes, that I had no idea where this movie was going. I'm like, okay, you have this like really good cardiovascular surgeon, and they seem super successful. His wife is like a doctor too, or something like that, or like a psychiatrist. Can't remember what her profession was, like a psychologist or something.
Something. I can't remember it either.
And then the kids are like kind of bizarre, and then he has like this friendship with this kid, and like for some odd reason, like I thought like maybe him and this kid were a little too close, but then like it turns out that that he just is trying to be with this Martin is his name, trying to like help this kid because he performed surgery on Martin's father, and his dad passed away. And then just like the next like right after that 40-minute mark, then it really just starts going. You're like, oh, holy shit, dude! Like,
Yeah.
it's definitely one of those psychological thriller esque movies in a sense. But
Hmm. Oh yeah.
and it's like it's one of those movies where for me at least, when I'm watching some of these like psychological like thriller movies, it's almost like when like you laugh, you like kind of like look side to side, and you're like, wait, should I be laughing or like not be laughing.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
This is a great example of a movie like that because I I laughed. I think that this movie and The Lobster are, to me, they're so funny because they're so weird, and like the such dry delivery and like really just strange dialogue. Like it's just so weird, and the movie just starts getting more and more uncomfortable, and then it starts getting darker, and you're like, oh, I don't, am I supposed to laugh or cry right now? It's just it's so weird. I sorry, my throat is sorry.
You vaping too much, bro.
Yeah, vape nation. Um, but yeah, I mean, just like the whole relationship between Martin and uh and what's the dad's name?
Steven.
Stephen. Martin and Steven. It's just so weird, and like I love the scene when remember when he's walking with his one of someone that he works with, and they're talking about the watches or whatever, and then he got the watch for Martin, and then it's just like that whole dialogue about the watch was just really it's just really funny to me. Like there's
Yeah.
just so many weird. It's just so weird. Um, and
Or the dinner party when he's talking to the doctor. Yeah, my daughter had her first period. It's like,
yes,
what the hell?
yeah. It's just so like dry and serious and monotone and it just completely bizarre. Yeah. I think that's why I love these movies so much is they're just they're unlike anything I've ever seen.
No, it's so true.
Like there's nothing quite like it.
Yeah, just with how monotone they were. It wasn't just the dad. It was like the wife. It was the kids. It was
Hmm.
Martin. It was his
Yeah,
uh
every single
yeah,
person.
everybody was like super monotone. But what I liked about the movie was when it flipped and you kind of find out what Martin is doing. I feel like
Hmm.
everybody kind of changed.
Yeah.
Then everybody started talking a little bit more normal just because of the aspect of what was happening. Kind of like changed everybody to kind of snap out of like whatever was happening, or I don't know. It was just interesting, just to see the dad go from like the super monotone, like work only, like just kind of going through the motions in a sense, and then his kids start getting sick and everything like that. He just changes into this, you know, more vocal person and really trying to figure out like what he can do to help his family and everything. So
Hmm.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. And Martin, that kid that plays Martin is
Yeah,
so
dude.
good at being such a
That spaghetti
freaking
scene, dude.
weirdo. Yes.
That spaghetti scene was so
Oh,
bizarre, but it was spot on. Like I was so
amazing.
glued in on that scene. I was like, how they zoomed in on the plate of spaghetti, and then
Uh-huh.
he just eats it with no care, like how much it, and then how he's describing like twirling it, and like you can see it. Yeah, like that's like a scene that like I'm always gonna like remember, just because it was.
Oh yeah. For sure. Yeah, that was so weird. Um and yeah, how he just him talking to her about how he eats spaghetti and yeah, he's like, I can't remember what he said exactly, but someone told me that I eat spaghetti just like my dad. And I he'd twirl it or whatever and eat it like this. And then I found out that that's how everyone eats spaghetti or whatever. Everyone eats spaghetti the exact same way. It's just so weird, but hilarious
Yeah.
and creepy.
And I feel like it was like in the morning too when he was eating the spaghetti. So like that whole part was just so. I was like, is this like at 8 o'clock in the morning? Because I thought he was talking about how he
You're
wasn't
right.
going to school, and I'm like, why is he eating spaghetti? Like, what is going on?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he did a good
Yeah.
job. I really did enjoy Martin. His name is Barry. I think Keegan.
Very Keegan.
but he was in
I know.
Dunkirk.
Oh yeah, that's right. Dunkirk.
George.
Oh, he's gonna be in The Green Knight.
That's good. Doesn't surprise.
That's cool. Yeah, he's an he's an interesting person. I'm excited to see
No, he
whatever
definitely
else he's
is.
in. I think he's a good actor. He just looks so creepy and weird in this movie, but he did great. Um,
He was also in Chernobyl,
yeah.
HBO.
Oh yeah,
He was Pavel.
that's
I can't
interesting.
remember where he was in that, but
Hmm, that's cool. I like the cinematography in the movie.
yeah.
You know that it seemed like there's a lot of shots where it's almost like the camera is like pointed more like upward. Like you see a lot of like the ceilings and stuff. Like there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of space
Yeah.
like above and and then also a lot of the shots like in the hospital and stuff like they felt very it just felt really distant, like the camera was kind of far and it captured a lot of like the hallway and it felt really um like it
Like
just
you were
felt
observing it from like
cold.
a distance, yeah.
Yeah, it felt really cold and it really I felt like it really matched like the tone of everything else that was going on in the movie and I thought it really kind of helped the movie in that
Yeah,
way.
like the scene where they're going down the stairs and you're watching it from like basically it seems like the third story and he's like
Hmm.
walking perfectly fine going down and then he just falls. Bob does.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed how they filmed that and yeah, it definitely had like that cold aspect to it, like they're at home, and when they're in the basement and all this kind of stuff, it's just it does feel like a cold movie.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. There's so many weird scenes like I mean like the spaghetti one like when the daughter I mean the two kids like they can't walk anymore. Like that's weird. That alone is already weird. And then um the daughter like crawls down and she's trying to get him to fix her, like heal her or whatever, make her walk again, and that she'll run away with him or whatever she's telling him. And then and then the parents they're looking for her and they can't find her and then they go out looking for her and she crawled so far away from home.
yeah,
I was so impressed at how far she got, like just dragging her body like with just her arms.
and her
I
knees
was
were
like,
all
holy
bloodied
crap.
and everything like that.
Yeah. Like this is so weird.
But I liked how they filmed
And
that too because they kind of had a cut back and forth between like them wrapping up her knees and then how they were searching for her and everything. So yeah, I enjoyed that.
mhm. Yeah, it kind of in a way I think just the end. I think it literally is probably just the end scene where well in the end when they're all on the couch and they have the sleeping bags over their head and Steven's gonna randomly kill you know one of his kids or his wife and he's just spinning around and shooting. That part was so like I was like holy crap, this is so twisted.
I know. Three
It
shots.
was so dark. And then of course it was Bob.
Yeah, poor Bob.
And when that happened, I was like, man, that was definitely.
What about Bob?
What about Bob? But that scene, it reminded me of. I was thinking about Funny Games
Yeah.
when that part happened.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously with like the pillow case over their heads, and just the dark nature of what's happening.
No, it's so true. I didn't even put that comparison together. It's been a while since we've seen that, but yeah, this totally makes sense.
Yeah.
I just like the unknown factor of like what was like driving these people of losing their ability to walk. And
Hmm.
I mean, obviously, we always want the answers toward the movies and stuff, but I really did like how they didn't tell you why.
Yeah.
I really do enjoy
Same.
like how you just yeah, like the end it just shows the family going about their regular life. Their son is no longer with them. And it never tells you what happened.
Yep.
Martin said, "Hey, you have to, you took someone from me. You have to kill someone in your family, otherwise, they're gonna lose their ability to walk. They're gonna have blood in their eyes, and then they're gonna die. So you choose what you
Hmm.
want to do." And then as soon as Bob's eyes started bleeding, he was like, "Well, okay, gotta kill one of them." So
Yeah.
yeah, just
Yeah, that was.
the like last 30 minutes, it's just like you're on the edge of your seat, just trying to figure out like what's gonna happen next, because it could go in any direction. So,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
going along with like how like that Barry guy, I think he also did a
Uh,
really good job in that scene when he's tied up in the basement and he
hmm.
bites his arm.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
what the hell, dude?
Yeah.
But it just goes
That's
with like
so
the
weird.
movie, like just how, it's crazy.
Hmm. I like when movies make me feel something, and this movie, by the end of it, like even watching it again for the second time, like it made me feel just weird is like the only way I can
Yeah.
even describe it. Like I just felt so just weird. Like I'd
Uncomfortable.
uncomfortable, weird, not even knowing what to think, and just kind of like with your mouth open, just like wow, what? And I think that it was effective. I think that's what he was going for, and
Mm.
he did it. Um, yeah, and it's apparently this is the story's based on a like a Greek some like Greek mythology or something like that. I can't remember. Um, doing a quick search. I was meaning to read more about that, but I kind of forgot. Um, it's like a Greek play, I think. The story is based on the ancient Greek tragedy. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pronounce this. Iphigenia at Aulis. Okay, I don't know. I'm probably saying this all wrong, but um, the film fall. Yeah, okay. So it's based on an ancient Greek tragedy. So I'm curious to know more about
Well,
that
he's from
story.
Greece, so it makes complete sense why
Mm-hmm.
he would tie it into something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, man. Great movie. Do you have any final thoughts?
No, it's one of those movies where you just have no clue what's gonna happen, and I like these psychological movies. Where they afterwards it kind of messes with you a little bit, where you're like, what the hell did I just watch? But that
Mm-hmm.
was really interesting. So
Yeah. What would you rate it?
I gave it 4 stars, but it would probably be like a high 4.
Okay, okay.
I did.
Nice.
I enjoyed it, and I thought that it had some good elements to it. So, I mean, I maybe would
Nice.
give it 4.5, but I'll keep it at 4.
Yeah, maybe if you watch it again, maybe. But cool, that's good. Good. I'm glad that you liked it. I'm glad that you liked this and um The Lobster. And now you need to watch Dogtooth,
Yeah.
his other movie.
What
Um
would you rate Killing a Secretary?
I'd give it a 4.5.
Yeah.
I love this movie. Uh, I don't think there's really nothing like it. The only thing that I could even compare it to is The Lobster, and even that is such a different movie
Yeah.
as far as like the tone and style and what the story's going for. But it's just um, Yorgos Lanthimos his style and what he's going for is just so interesting. There's nothing like it. I think it's hilarious and also really scary and weird. Um, and yeah, I want to see more movies like this from him. I uh, I really like The Favorite a lot. I think it's another really great movie, but it's different. He didn't with The Favorite. He didn't make another movie like this. It's
Yeah.
it's it's much more normal compared to this movie and The Lobster. But it's still really good. It's just not bizarre in in the same ways that his other movies are. But yeah, I love it. I love these kind of psychological thrillers and horror movies, and um, makes you think, and um, yeah. And I would recommend it if you're into that sort of thing. But just know it's definitely really weird and dark, and it's not for everyone. I know
Yeah,
that much.
yeah.
I know it's not everyone's gonna enjoy it, but that's okay. But
I
yeah.
mean, even looking at the reviews on Letterboxd, like the people I follow, it's like from 1.5 star all the way up to like 4.5. So it
Yeah.
has a wide variety of reviews, and people definitely have different tastes, and you know, like I agree with what you're saying though. It definitely isn't for everybody, but it really is. I feel like for films and everything, like if you enjoy it and in different directions, I respect like what direction he's trying to go in, and I really
Hmm.
did enjoy The Lobster, and I think he did a good job on this one as well.
Awesome. Very cool.
Well, do you want to tell what our next week's movies are for the film club?
Yeah, man. So our next picks are gonna be Fallen Angels, I think. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Fallen Angels, which is from same director as Chunking Express, right?
Yes.
Awesome. So I'm excited to watch that. That's Nate's pick. And then the movie that I picked is called Dead Man, which is a Jim Jarmusch movie starring Johnny Depp. Um, some sort of interesting looking Western type of movie. I've never seen it before, but excited to check it out and talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah, and Fallen
So,
Angels, that is on Criterion Channel.
yeah, I think they both are on Criterion Channel.
And
So,
also on HBO Max, Dead Man is.
oh, okay, cool.
So yeah, Criterion Channel for Fallen Angels, and then Dead Man is HBO Max and Criterion Channel. So,
Awesome.
well, thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll catch you next week.
Bye.
See ya.